Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade here. Welcome to my home just outside the war room. You can see it back there. I got up this morning and I looked at, I turned my computer on and I looked and I had over 500 subscribers on YouTube and I'm just amazed. It's been shortly over 8 months now and 500 subscribers. I never thought I'd reach that much. I was just trying it out. Trying out a new challenge and look where it's taken me. Over 500 subscribers in less than 8 months, and I'm just blown away by that. I'm so thankful for everybody for subscribing, and even the ones who didn't subscribe, the people that just watch my videos. Right now, it's a little over 45,000 views, so that's pretty amazing too. I can't believe that so many people have actually seen a video that I made, and I, I'm old enough that I'm from a world where, the only people that heard your voice were the people that were in earshot of you, and whoever you could reach on the telephone that you had to dial up. So, kind of dating myself, but that's okay. With age comes wisdom and experience. But yeah, it's just amazing that you can reach people and people from all over the world too, not just people in your community, but people like in the next town and in the next province, in the next country, and all over the world. And it's I think it's really cool that you can do that. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed and thank you to everyone who watches my movies and who makes comments. And some of them are good comments and some of them are not so good, but that's okay. I love them all. Um, so I thought I'd do a contest. I'm not going to get into the details of it right now because I want that contest to be its own video. I'm going to make that video as soon as I start uploading this one. Plus, I want to use I'm just using my laptop to record this video, and I want to use my the camera that I usually make videos with. I want to use that to show the prize that I'm giving out for this in honor of getting 500 subscribers. So that's coming up. That'll be right after this video. So next thing I want to talk about, I want to throw a couple of shout outs there, and these aren't completely new people that are on YouTube, but people whose videos that I've been enjoying that I haven't talked about to this point. One is Wildcat6305. He's from Atlanta, and his space is called the Treehouse. And I'm not going to get into why or anything. You should just go watch his videos, and he'll explain that to you. It's a pretty interesting story why he calls it the Treehouse. But I really enjoy his videos. He to this point he's just shown his customizations and his space where he plays and um, a little bit about house rules. He's talked a bit about that, like I did in the beginning. When you first start a YouTube channel, that's one of the things you want to do is you want to get it out there. This is what I do. This is how cool I am. This is how I play the game, and so kudos to him for coming up with his own rules, and hopefully we'll see where that goes from here. See if he gets into strategy videos or just where his channel takes him. I wish him the best of luck. Another person that I've enjoyed watching his videos is Crockett36. This is somebody that's going to be going to Grasshoppers tournament next month in September. So I'm looking forward to meeting him because I'm going to be going as well. His videos are insightful. Uh, he took one video. He was in his car. He was on his way to the store to buy underwear. So that's kind of funny, and that's the kind of thing that I like is people that think outside the box, or people that are just um, they're not just going to sit down in front of a computer and talk. They're going to find something else. Like Detroit, I love Detroit's video there when he was sitting in his police car and he was, he was talking to people as they walk by, like move it along, man. I think that kind of thing's great. But anyway, I enjoy listening to Crockett's videos or watching them. So hopefully he comes with a lot more, and hopefully he puts out some strategy ones so I can see what he's doing before, in case I have to play him in the convention. So let's get to that anyway. The Toronto Six-Sided Gaming Convention. Um, a lot of changes have been made. At first, the when I first decided to go to this, I think it was in early January or maybe it was even December. I posed the question on AxisandAllies.org if there was going to be any games of Axis and Allies at the Field Marshal Gaming Convention. I was asking James from I Will Never Grow Up and Young Grasshopper, and they Grasshopper said, "Well, hey, if you're going to come, then yeah, we'll make sure that there's some games going on of Axis and Allies," and from there it just started growing, and it became a tournament that was going to be at Field Marshal Games Convention, and it kind of got too big. Um, Grasshopper had to turn too many people away. We were only able to get a small corner, of course, of this convention space because this isn't an Axis and Allies convention. It's a gaming convention, and it's put on by a company that has their own website and talks about hundreds of different games, and so they couldn't give us half the space, right? I mean, they needed a lot of the space for all the other games and for everything else that goes on during the convention. So um, recently, Grasshoppers decided to host the convention himself with others. He has a team that's working with him, and he's got his own space now, and so we're going to have an unlimited amount of space. Not unlimited, but I mean more than what we need. There's going to be a ton of space there, and so he's opened it up, and I'm not sure if it's full or not yet. You'll have to watch his channel for updates of whether or not there's any space for you to get in. I know he's taken a lot more people, and we've gone from 3-man teams to 2-man teams, which is something that I like, and I think that most of us are like. If you're playing with 6 people around a table, I mean, for one thing, it's a bit crowded. There's a lot of hands in there, and there's a lot of voices, and everybody wants you to do this or that or something else. And I think the fewer people, the better. Um, I think 4 is better than 2. With 2, then it's just you and it's just your skills, and there's something to be said for that. But it's not as social as it would be with 4 people. I think 4 is just the perfect amount because you get to play more. You get to play more countries. So more of your input goes into the game, but you get to play with a partner, and you get to play against 2 other people, and I think that's the best way to play this game. Global 40 is 4 on 4. You can play more or less, but I think that's the optimal amount of people. So I'm really happy about that, and I'm happy that I have a partner that is probably better than me. I'm hoping so, but we're going to give it our best, and um, there's 2 different categories. We're going to be in the enthusiast category, which is the higher level. So I can't wait to uh, see how my skills stack up against other enthusiasts because um, to this point, I've never been to one of these conventions, and I just recently, say in the last 10 months or so, um, became part of the online community. And so before that, for 30 years or more, I was always, I didn't know anybody that loved the game as much as I did, let's put it that way. I was crazy about the game, you know what I mean? And everybody else, they just maybe really liked it, or they said, "Oh, that's a pretty good game," or "Well, yeah, this is too much for me." But people that liked the game and maybe played it for years against me, but never loved it to the extent that I do. But going to a convention where other people are going to be traveling someplace, some from halfway around the world. I mean, these are people who love the game as much as I do, and so I'm looking forward to meeting these people and to stacking up my skills against theirs. Uh, it's going to be neat to do that because I don't play on online on AAA. I just you know what, I'm not into playing a computer game. I don't actually have a game console like many people do in their homes. Um, I don't play computer games. I did when I was younger, and I don't do it now. Um, I what I do for a living is close to that. I mean, some of the machines that I run at work, they're computerized, and they're like 10 times the computer game you've ever seen. And so when I get home from there, I just my brain is just mush, and for me to sit down at a computer and try to think strategy is just not my idea of fun. I really like the feel of the little army men in my hands and moving them around, and kind of the OCD thing of, ooh, I can make them, like make the tanks line up, and the planes in behind that, and that's the kind of thing that I like. To me, that's it's calming to me to sit down at the table and to play with my little army men and all the other little pieces, right? Um, that's what I like to do, and I like the social aspect of sitting across the table with and around the table with people, and talking not just about the game but about other things, right? So sitting at a computer by myself and playing the game, yeah, you could play against some of the best players in the world, and there's something to be said for that. But it's just not something that I'm interested in, for the reasons that I spoke about, and for other reasons as well. It's just not for me. So this will be my first chance to play against people who love the game as much as I do. I've played against some good players, but I know I'm going to play against better players than I've ever played against, and that's good, because as far as people I've played against, I've never met anybody that was as good as me, and I'm expecting to meet people who are better than me. So that's good, and hopefully that's going to make me a better player, and I know it will. I know that playing against good competition can only make you stronger. But that's just one aspect of going to this convention. I think the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is just meeting the people. Playing the games is one thing, but just meeting them and hanging out with them, and getting to know who they are and stuff like that. We know each other by these screen names like General Hand Grenade and Sire Blood and Young Grasshopper, and I know some of these guys' real names, and I'm not going to tell you, because if they wanted you to know, they'd tell you. But just meeting them and finding out what their actual name is, and what the sound of their voice is like, because not everybody's a YouTuber, right? Most of the people that are going to be there are not YouTubers. They don't love the game any less. They just haven't gone down the same path that we have as YouTubers, and decided to make videos like that. So meeting all these people is going to be the most fun, and the camaraderie, and also Larry Harris is going to be there. I mean, that's just amazing. I never would have thought uh, when I first went online, I never would have thought that I was within a year going to meet Larry Harris. Uh, so yeah, he's the creator of Axis and Allies, and I've been playing his games for years, since basically the day they came out. I had the very first edition of Classic Axis and Allies, the one before the rules were changed. It came out in '84. I had a board in '84, and I have not samurai swords. I've got Shogun. That was the first one that came out. I'm guessing they had to change their name because somebody sued them because of the movie or something. I don't know. But it wasn't long that the game was called Samurai Swords after that. But I've got Shogun, and I had Conquest of the Empire, and once I bought Axis and Allies and realized how good these games were, then I had all of them. I had Fortress America, um, and I still have most of them. One of them I lent to a friend, and his house burned down. So that was so long to Conquest of the Empire. It was a cool game, but what I didn't like about it is the guy with the most catapults won the game. Basically, that's all you needed to do was buy catapults as fast as you could, and you were going to win the game. So that was kind of a broken aspect of that game. But other than that, it was pretty cool though. Anyway, so just meeting people and meeting Larry. He's going to demo his new game there, and that's going to be on video. I think that's going to be live on the internet. So the people that aren't going to be able to make it will be able to see that, and they'll be able to see a lot of the games that we're going to play. I know I'm going to record the games that I'm involved in. Each of us will be involved in 2 games, and then there's the medal round. So if I'm lucky enough to make the medal round, then I will be filming 3 games. Um, so I'll be bringing my camera and my tripod and all that, and probably do it Wasm style, like after each turn, providing that my opponents and my teammate are okay with me doing that. I don't want to take away from the game, and I don't want to distract anyone. So if they're okay with it, then I'm just going to do a little blurb at the end of each round and say this is a little bit about what happened, and just carry on from there. So I'm hoping to do that, and hopefully get a little bit more footage. I'm not exactly sure what kind of opportunities there's going to be to film at the convention, because I will be involved in playing the games and everything. But certainly I'd like to get some film that not even at the convention. Just I know afterwards I think we're going to go down to Niagara Falls, Sired and I. So hopefully get some film down there, and if we make it to Buffalo, some film, just things about being on the road or whatever. Uh, I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see what kind of opportunities present themselves. Um, Certainly, where they're presenting the awards and stuff, I'll be trying to film that the awards when the convention ends. But it's not just me. Like there's going to be a few YouTubers there, and I'm sure all of us are bringing our cameras. So if you aren't lucky enough to make it, then you're going to get lots and lots of video, hours and hours of it. I'm sure, not just the live streaming, but the videos that come out afterwards. So watch for that in late September or early October. I know after I get home, I'm probably gonna need to rest. Um, but anyway, we're going to get the first two rounds in the first 2 days, and then there'll be the medal round. And then the fourth day, on the Tuesday, that's when we get to play my rules, and we're going to go back to the bunker. And I'm not sure if we'll be able to take Grasshopper's new table back there. You probably seen he's building a new table, him and his crew. It's going to be a 3D table, so I'm not sure if they got time to bring that back to the bunker and set that up. Hopefully they do, because I'd like to play on it if I don't make the finals. But we'll be playing General Hand Grenade's house rules, and I've got a lot of house rules, but I'm not going to play them all. I don't want to overwhelm the game. I still want it to be a game of Global 40. So we'll be playing the research and development rules, and for sure we'll throw the Special Forces unit in there in the airfields. That's my favorite unit of any kind in Axis and Allies, is that Special Forces unit, and a few others. I'm not sure. I'll kind of ask everybody else who's playing the game, and I don't know who that is. I think Grasshopper is going to be involved in Sired, and I'm not sure who else is playing in that game. But we're going to play my rules, and I'm bringing my stuff, all the stuff that we need to play those rules. So I'm really looking forward to that, to see what other people think of the rules that I've come up with. And my rules might change after that. People might say, you know what, that's kind of stupid. Should do this instead, or who knows, maybe my rules might be more widely adopted after that. One of the things that I've been thinking about is victory conditions. Um, to this point, I've just been playing the normal victory conditions that are out of box, and in a game where you're for sure only have 1 day to play, then it's probably a good idea to have some kind of conditions like Young Grasshoppers victory conditions, the ones that we're playing with for the tournament. So I'm thinking about using his, but wondering how to adopt that, because with the research and development rules that I play, there's at least 7 to 10 weapons that get developed in the game out of 12 out of the 12 weapons. And if you're going to add weapons for every time somebody gets a victory objective, then that's going to be too many weapons in the game. So I've been thinking about what else that I could use for a reward, if any, if I adopt those conditions for that game. Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun though, and we're definitely going to have some video of that. I don't know if it'll be live or if we're just going to film it and put it out afterwards, but that's going to be a lot of fun. Um, I think I'll definitely film it myself and put it out afterwards. So even if it is going out live, I'm going to film it and put it out on my channel. For one thing, it's going to be on a Tuesday, and most of you are going to be at work, I guess, and so you might not be able to see it live, and so you'll be able to see it afterwards. So anyway, that's going to be fun. I can't think of anything more exciting than going to that thing right now. I've been looking forward to it all year. Just like I Want to Be Sedated, that song by the Ramones. It's just getting closer and closer and closer. And I just want to go to sleep and wake up the day before it's time to leave. What else we got going on? Let me just look at my paper here. As far as videos coming up, after this, after I upload this one, then the next thing I'm going to do is is do another short video on the contest that I'm going to do for 500 subscribers, um, and then hang on a second. Sorry about that. My screen just appeared on me. Hopefully that didn't screw up my recording. It just shut my computer off. I guess you have to scroll the mouse around once in a while or it goes away. I'll have to watch this back first before I put it out there. Make sure it didn't stop. Anyway, so there's going to be that short video, and then I'm going to do a series of videos. I've already done a couple of videos, and I'm going to make a playlist, and I'm going to start adding to it. But the series that I'm going to do is about knowing the rules. Knowing all of the rules in the rule book, and knowing how to put them together so that you can use them to your advantage. One of the things I love doing on AxisAndAllies.org is reading some of the threads of people that are asking questions like, "Is this legal?" Because it doesn't sound right, and all the rules are in there. And the one that I'll point to so that you know what I'm talking about is the one that I titled "Why Should You Watch a 2.5 hour video?" And I'm gonna rename that today as well, because it doesn't really describe what's in the video. I was just kind of poking fun at my other YouTubers because they're always bugging me about the length of my videos, you know. Uh, so I'll rename that one so that you can find it a little easier. But that one had one where a guy had 3 loaded carriers in C Zone 6. That's the C Zone surrounding Japan. 3 fully loaded carriers, and he lost it all, and it didn't seem right. But everything that was done was within the rules. You know, the number of spaces that the Japanese player could fly his planes, and building his carriers in a C zone, and breaking off his attack after his 3 subs hit the 3 carriers, and it was really interesting, I thought. But there's other things like that. Like I just did a video a week or so ago about C Zone 102, and that's not something that's used a lot, or at least not, it hasn't been in my experience. Maybe you use it all the time, but that's the C zone that is outside of the United States, the eastern United States, that um, you're only allowed to stay near the coast except for this one C zone. You can put your surface warships there. And so I did a short video on that, how you could use that in conjunction with trying to dissuade the Germans from doing sea lion attack. So it's things like this. It's knowing the rules and using them. And I know the video I want to make next it has to do with a game that involved Carl and Gargantua in Vancouver. These are 2 guys that both live in Vancouver, which is in my home province. And it sounds like it got into a bit of a heated argument because Carl did something to Gargantua, and I'm not going to tell you all about it. I'm going to make the video, but Gargantua has play tested with Larry Harris before, and so he was emailing Larry, "Can he do this?" You know, apparently he could. So, but that's the cool thing, though. It's it was in the rules, and I know Gargantua knows the rules. He's been playing for a long time. But sometimes when you take one rule and you put it with another rule, and maybe even another rule after that, you just never thought of using that combination of rules to come up with some sort of plan, to come up with some sort of strategy. And so that's kind of what I want to do this series on. And I'm going to, when I come across other things, I'll make videos about them and put them in that playlist as well that I create. Just things about knowing the rules and putting those rules together and using them to your advantage. It's that it, I've really taken to learning the rules this year since I became a YouTuber, and people are asking me questions like I was some kind of expert or anything. And I did know the game pretty good, but I kept having to go to the rule book so that I made sure that I was giving the correct information. And then so that went to me making my 101 series of videos, which basically has everything in the rule books. There's 5 different videos that I put out. There's naval warfare and aerial warfare and ground and pound, and the turn sequence, so basically what happens during a turn, and the political situation. Those are the 5 videos. And so just about every rule in the book is contained in those videos. So I got to know the rules really good then. I pretty much knew most of them, but some of them I was a little surprised. Oh, geez, I didn't know that. There was a little bit of a twist there, right? That I kind of thought. And some of that comes from playing the other games, the other Axis and Allies games, where you're thinking, oh, geez, you can do this, right? And that was a different game. That wasn't this one. So, you kind of you confuse them in your mind when you play a bunch of different games of Axis and Allies. So that's been a real help to me is getting to know the rules inside and out. I'm getting to be pretty comfortable with knowing all the rules where I don't really have to look it up anymore. The only thing I really have to look it up for now so that I can prove it. No, it's on page 28. It's right here in the fourth paragraph, so I could point it to somebody. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to search out these rules in the rule book and learn how to use them to your advantage. Um, there are moves that the game is complex enough. Global 40 game, it's the most complex Axis and Allies game that has been made so far, and it's not the most complex game in the world, but it's the most complex game of Axis and Allies. It is complex enough with all those rules that if you really think about it and if you really get creative, you can come up with a move that nobody's ever seen, or at least nobody that you know anyway. Somebody over in Holland might have done that same move, but nobody that you know, right? But unless you're from Holland. Anyway, just a matter of taking this rule and this rule and this rule and combining them all. And it makes people scratch their head and go, "Is that legal?" That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Is people when they have to ask you if that's legal or not. But you use it to in a strategy that you create, and that's the cool thing. Knowing the rules and being creative enough to put those rules together. So that's the next series that I'm going to videos that I'm going to do, and I'm not going to make them all back to back. It's just when I come across one, and I've got one in mind now. Like I said, uh, when I come across one that I think is cool, that somebody was creative and I something that I never thought of, then I'm going to make a video about it. And they're usually going to be just short videos, like 10, 15 minutes, if that, showing what that person has done. It's not going to be some grand strategy like this is what you do on the first turn and the second turn and the third turn. I'm not talking about strategy videos. I'm talking about just moves where people have gotten creative. So I think that's going to be interesting, and I think that's going to make us all better players if we watch these videos and go, "Ooh, I never thought of that." So that's going to be fun. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap this video up now. Once again, I want to thank all of you for subscribing and for watching my videos, and I want to thank people for their friendship. I've made a lot of friends doing this, and it's been a challenge for me. Um, I think I'm a little bit better now than I was when I started doing this. I'm definitely more comfortable now. Um, but that's what you would expect if you keep doing something over and over again. You expect to get better, and I encourage anybody who's out there that if they think this is a cool thing, that they watch like I did. I thought Grasshopper's videos were cool, so I thought, oh, I'm going to try doing that, and never thought I'd get to 500 subscribers, but here I am at 501 at this point. So anyway, thank you all very, very much, and um, anyway, I'll just start uploading this and we'll get to that contest and I'll show you the cool prize that is worth $1 million. Well, a little bit less than that, but it's a cool prize nonetheless. So anyway, thank you everyone. You take care. General Hand Grenade out.